Hello, in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to quickly optimize the cTrader Smart Grid trading system. A few customers have requested how to easily do it, and we're going to actually give you a quick demo now. So first I'm going to do is make sure that you're in cTrader Automate, not the trade window. So go down to cTrader Automate here. Make sure you've added an instance for the Smart Grid trading robot. I'm going to choose the default currency symbol Euro USD. There's a very basic setup. You can use any symbol you want. And what I'm going to do is run a optimization application for this to find the optimal parameters. I'm only going to go back 3 months because it will be quicker for me to do than 12 months just for this example. But you can do 3 months, 1 month, 12 months, or any time frame you want. I personally feel that shorter time frames are better to recalibrate on a regular basis. So I'm going to click on the optimization tab here. Then I'm going to go to this little icon here, the gear icon, and I'm going to select the starting capital I want to use. Now it defaults at 10,000. But I would go down to something realistic that you're going to trade with. So if you've got a starting capital of 1,000, I just select 1,000. The commission, you can find a commission from your broker. I just leave it at default 30 per million. For this example, I'm going to do 1 minute bars for server. If you were to select tick data from server, each tick of data that comes in includes the spread. If you choose 1 minute bars, you can select a fixed value for the spread. Just for these demonstration purposes, I'm going to leave it at 1 minute bars. You can optimize for tick data or 1 minute bars. I don't think there's a huge amount in it if you're going to be using Forex, because Forex has such low spreads. I don't think there's going to be a huge amount between the tick data and the 1 minute bar. But what we're going to do is we're going to run an optimization using 1 minute bar, then we're also going to run it on tick data just to see the comparison at the end. Now, the current live spread for Euro USD is 0.2 pips. So I'm just going to select that so it's got the same value. That's my backtest settings. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is select the start and end dates. Now, I want just 3 months back, so I've already pre-selected it. So I want 4th of October 2023 to 4th of January 2024, and that's 3 months of historical data. Now, the next thing is this little icon here for your settings. Now, this is the crucial bit and the part that I think you're more interested in, because there's so many settings for this trading system, it can be very difficult to actually find what is best to optimize. So I'm going to go to the bare minimum, most crucial settings that you want to use just to get some optimized settings, and then you can start adding additional features, risk limiters, and technical indicators later on. So what I'm going to do is right at the very top, I'm going to uncheck all of this. We want to leave buy and sell as yes. Down here, we want the initial volume to be the same. Now, the grid distance is important. It's a very key feature. Leave this between 1 and 10. So the setting you want to tick, and you want the minimum value 1, maximum value 10. The volume multiplier is 1. Leave all these set to default values. The stop loss is also very important. We want a higher stop loss than take profit. Best to optimize around between 50 and 100 with a step of 1. The max spread default values, I think, are 350, 335. Leave these as the default values. The fixed take profit is also very important. Set this value somewhere between 20 and 50 with a step of 1. Leave the automatic take profit set to no. Average take profit pips, it doesn't matter, we're not using it. Leave all this as it is. Uncheck all these values. Equity stop loss, we're not going to use. Select no. Equity profit stop, we're not going to use. Equity balance stop, we're not going to use. Equity drawdown, we're not going to use. Trading hours, we're not going to use. Friday stop, we're not going to use. Trailing stop, we're not going to use. We're not going to use the break even or the news manager. But the next key feature we want to use is the DiNapoli stochastic indicator. Now select yes for this, so uncheck that. Leave these all as checked and do 3 to 13, 1 to 8, 1 to 8, and the crossover distance again is very important, 0 to 10. You want the entry time frame to be default, and you want the lower and upper levels for the DiNapoli to be 20 and 30, 70 and 80. If you want less trades and a lower drawdown, then select something like the lower threshold from 10 to 20 and the upper threshold from 80 to 90. This would be that maximum and minimum thresholds for actually opening a trade. And that will give you fewer trades but much less drawdown. So you can experiment with that. The confirmation, no. Confirmation time frame doesn't matter. Close positions, no. The ATR filter we're not going to use. The HM whole moving average indicator we're not going to use, and all the other settings we're going to select to no. So this basic settings is just going to use the grid, the logic for the grid system. Well, it's not actually a grid system; it's a grid. It's a different type of grid system. It's a smart system, but it actually uses a grid distance set between 1 and 10. We're only optimizing the stop loss, the take profit, the grid distance, and the DiNapoli. So these values we want to optimize to run this now. If at a later date you want to add additional optimization features, I'll show you this at the end of the video, where you should look next to actually get even better performance. This is going to be a very basic test just to show you how easy it is to optimize settings. The next setting we can choose here, we want to leave this as as standard. Maximize your net profit, minimize the max equity drawdown, and maximize winning trades. You can add further criterion, or you can remove some of these if you wish to experiment. GA, and we're going to stick with genetic algorithm. And here, if you're going to use your PC for daily tasks while this is running in the background, leave it at 55% of CPU. If you want this to run really fast, you're not going to use your PC, drag it right across to 100%. It will use all the CPU's power and it will actually run a lot faster for you. Actually, I'm going to drag it across. Okay, so I've got a Core i9 processor on this laptop here. Now I've set the start and end dates. I'm going to run the backtest. I'm going to run the optimization module. I also want to make sure that I select the best pass. Now what you should see is down here in the pass parameters, you'll see the parameters that it's found so far, and the equity here will show you the equity graph. So the equity graph will actually just show you as it's growing. It's showing that I've got 4 minutes to run this optimization. So what I'm going to do is leave this running. I've got it so the best pass comes up at the end. I'm going to pause the video, come back in 4 minutes, and then go through it from there. Okay, the backtest is completed. Now, as you can see the equity graph here, the number of trades and the net profit. If I go to trade statistics, I had a net profit £175 over 1,000, which is a 17.5% increase in net profit. It's also got a balance drawdown of 1.86% and an equity drawdown of 2.99%. Now, this is pretty good for basic settings. You can improve on this by adjusting it, or you can leave the settings as they are. So if I click anywhere on the chart here, I just minimize this and I unselect best pass. I want to find my best pass. Actually, I'll just stop that. And if I do it again, there's my best pass here at the bottom. If I click on apply, all the settings will be applied for that best pass. I can see the settings if I go to this window and look at the parameters. Because I've applied it, it's applied the settings here. So it's set my stop loss at 78, and it's got my, if I scroll down some of the other settings, a fixed take profit of 50, and all the other settings that we've done down here, if the dynapically would have been updated as well here. You can see all the values down here. Now, after I've applied the settings, I can just go to backtest, and I can run a backtest to make sure that these settings have been applied. To do this, I'll make sure I've got the same start and end dates. So I want to go to October the 4th to October the 1st, 2024. So that's 3 months. You also need to make sure that your backtest settings are identical. So starting capital of 1,000, a fixed spread is 0.2. And if I run a backtest there, it should be the same same values. So it's 17 or 18% net profit. You can see the equity chart at the bottom and the trade statistics. Now, that's a basic setting. That's the quickest way you can start using this to get basic optimized settings for most symbols. Now, Forex is going to be very different than if you're running cryptocurrencies or metals or anything else, or gold, because, for example, on the optimization settings if I go back to optimization settings, if you were using something like gold or cryptocurrency, the spread will be so much higher, maybe 50 or 100. You can't use the same settings you can't use this same process for cryptocurrency as you do with Forex. So what I've just showed you would work with any Forex currency symbol that you can use. If you're using a different symbol like gold or something else, you need to find out what the spread is. So for example, if the average fixed spread for a symbol was 100, because the average is for Forex is something like 1, when you go to your settings, you'll need to multiply everything by 100. So your grid distance would be 100 to 1,000. The stop loss would be something like 500 to 1,000, something like that. You've got to multiply it by 10. And you'll have to do that for all the settings that you're going to use. Now, I will do this with the basic settings that I've just chosen. The only area that you don't need to multiply it by the spread is the indicator settings. You don't need to do it for the indicator settings, and you wouldn't need to do it for the crossover distance for the indicator either. It's only things like stop loss, take profit, and things like that. And make sure also that when you do it, that your max spread value is not 3. Because if you run this on a symbol which has got a 50 pip spread, because it's higher than 3, the max spread of 3, it won't run. There'll be no trade. So make sure that when you're using other symbols, you make sure that the settings are much, much higher so that it will actually use it for that. And once you optimize it for one, you can then get a rough idea what it is. So this is an example for Forex. Another day, I'll do an example for a different symbol like gold or something to give you an idea. Now, for example, if you wanted to improve on these settings, you could easily go down to the max losing buy. That's another one you can put in between 1 and 5, max using sell and max open trades. I would probably do that. So once you get good settings for this, actually, as soon as you get your good settings and you've applied them, I would also save them. So I would do this by going to your, you can either do it from your back test, sorry, not your back test. Once you've optimized them, you want to save them. I will do this through your settings here, sorry. You can right click on the cbot instance and you can save parameters. Now that'll save your parameters onto your PC, so you can save it for a later date. So make sure you save all your parameters once you've back tested it or you've optimized it so you can use them at a later date. Again, I'll go back to the settings again. I would run these 3 values here, run the optimization again, see if you get better results. If you don't get better results, leave them as they are and check them again. Scroll down, go to something else that you want to adjust. So you might want to add an additional indicator to improve it. So you could use the whole average true range. You could select yes for this. And you could select the periods, the MA type, and the weight, and run an optimization on that so you can get better settings. If you don't, uncheck it. So create the core optimized settings and then start tweaking it by going to each one of these settings and adding it as you're going along. Do it in small pieces and rather than try and do the whole optimization. If you try and optimize all of these settings at the same time, I don't think cTrader can cope with that, and I don't think that's a very good way of doing it because you could be sat there for days waiting for the results to come in. And I don't think that's a great way of doing it. I think it's a good way to do it in small pieces like this. Okay, I hope that's helpful for you. If you've got any questions, please put them bottom. Please go to our website, cTrader.info, and post some questions on there. And if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much.